Hello brother, welcome back to my course. Now it's time for module 9, Sublimation, move that energy. But before going into the contents of this module, I would like to share with you a technique that is, I think, very helpful. It's voicing, all right? We're gonna do some voicing together with you, and that's gonna help you a lot in your self-confidence. If you do this technique when you're alone, or even when you're with your partner during sex, when you voice, when you express your wild, authentic masculine nature, you will feel that you will have more testosterone, you will feel more manly, even your erections will get better. And it also helps to control the ejaculation and last longer, all right? If you're ready, let's go. Just make sure that when you're sitting, there's no tension in your belly area. Just make sure you relax your belly completely, okay? If there's a belt, just relax that belt a little bit. So make sure you're easily able to inhale to your belly, okay? Close your eyes for a minute. Take a deep breath through the nose and exhale from the mouth. We're gonna do this slow and deep breathings a couple of times. And on the next exhalation, focus on your voice and let the voice come out as raw and natural as it is, okay? As low and as animalistic is okay. Yeah. So try this next time when you're alone or when you're with your woman. So I appreciate that you're coming back and continuing with this course. So I just wanted to share this gift with you, okay? This technique, voicing, is going to help you a lot. And this kind of reminds me of the nature of these kind of schools, like the authentic traditional schools. It doesn't have to be about Tantra, it can be about Kung Fu or other martial arts or even yoga. In the very old times, in the tradition, the teachers would test the students and they wouldn't give their best techniques right away. They would wait and see if the student is honest and willing to progress on the path. So I see that you're still here with me, so I just wanted to share this technique with you, all right? So now we're going to talk about sublimation and personal transformation. It's a very key thing in any kind of evolutionary path, right? So it's going to help you tremendously with your ejaculation control, but its benefits are not limited with that. Because many spiritual people, or doesn't have to be so-called spiritual, but any person, any man or woman who is walking on a development course, either it's through coaching or fitness or mental education, they do a lot of sublimation, consciously or unconsciously. If there's no sublimation, there's no transformation. And in most cases, it requires an enormous effort, okay? Like doing tons of fitness training or a lot of yoga or martial arts and challenging yourself. Like I witnessed Aikido schools in Japan, and they would, all day long, they wouldn't sit. They would do something all the time. It's like exhausting your nerves, exhausting your energy. And if you do so much of practice and just carrying water to the ashram, to the dojo, and doing fitness training, and then doing your Aikido training, and then sitting down for meditation, and maybe doing some jumps and exhausting your fitness even more, exhausting your battery even more, and then reading and writing and listening to a lecture, you know, like all day long, the participants are required or at least encouraged to do a lot of things. This is also recommended by Swami Shivananda, a famous yogi of the 20th century, this kind of heavy practice and keeping you busy all the time. Because if you do such things, after some time, days or weeks, you will not have any energy for sex. Basically, you're using all your sexual energy for something else. Or when we look at the Sufi tradition, we know that some dervishes are whirling, like turning around themselves, hours at a stretch. Like I've seen people, men or women, doing it for 3-4 hours at a stretch. You know, like just dancing in devotion to the divine. Or I know from the Christian mystics, fathers of the desert, they would open up their arms in the desert and pray to Jesus for hours and hours and hours, and don't lower their arms. You know, keep their arms like this all night long. Just keep praying. Or in the Native American spirituality, there is something called Vision Quest. And in this one, in particular version, if you join this, you are supposed to stand 4 days and 4 nights. Forget about sleeping. You can't even sit down. You know, just pray and pray and pray 4 days and 4 nights. Of course, most people today are not able to do this, but this is how it was being done in the tradition. So these kind of heavy practices will sublime the energy. But you're lucky you don't have to do this kind of heavy practices. There's kind of a shortcut that the Tantric yogis have discovered, and there's a very strong technique that I'm going to teach you in this module right now, in the next couple of minutes. So, but what are the benefits of sublimation? For example, you're going to have an important exam the next day and you're working, or maybe next week, or you have a deadline for a client, you're working like hell, and you need to focus, right? But you have sexual fantasies lurking here and there, your energy is somewhere down here. So you can't concentrate on what you're doing. If you do sublimation, you have double advantage. You will take that energy that is disturbing you, take it away, and also put it somewhere where you need it, which is your mind. So it's like with one shot, you kill two birds. It's a very efficient technique in this way. Or if you have some negative emotions, some depression, it will help you tremendously. Again, like if you do this sublimation technique, bam, your mood will change almost instantly. But this is not suppressing emotions. When you suppress emotions, the energy is there. What is an emotion, by the way? It's energy in motion, emotion. So if you take that energy, that emotion will get weaker automatically. And you can trigger or activate a higher form of emotion. For example, you are jealous, and then you find yourself in love or in a heroic courage. You know, you can change your emotions with sublimation. Again, it's not a suppression. Suppression is you just leave it there, you just block the energy, and it doesn't manifest. That's it. This is a very raw type of dealing with emotions. Sublimation is something more refined. So, and even this, if you experience such a thing, I hope you will, you can see that our body, our emotions is almost robotic, you know, like it can be even shocking for you. Wow, like I was thinking that these emotions are supposed to be there and I can't deal with them, I need to take some medication or something like that. But with the energy movement, moving the energy upwards in your body, you can really change them dramatically fast. And there's a very nice metaphor I would like to share with you. In the Indian culture, they talk about the lotus flower. How be like a lotus flower, and sublimation makes you like a lotus flower. Its roots are in the mud, in very dirty, muddy water. But its fragrance is amazingly beautiful and it looks amazingly beautiful, the lotus flower. So with the sublimation in yoga, you can become like a lotus flower. You can nurture yourself, your energy from the muddy waters, and then you can have an amazing smell, amazing fragrance. So the number one technique for sexual transmutation is udana bandha, okay? So it sounds like a little bit difficult name, I know. It's a Sanskrit name, and I want to stick with these names because it will avoid confusion in the future. Bandha is a type of technique that locks the energy, okay? So that makes sense somehow. We're going to lock the energy and send it in a certain direction. Udana consists of 3 words: upwards, flying, path of energy. So the energy is moving upwards or flying upwards with the udana, and with the lock of udana bandha, we're locking the energy in a certain way so it goes only upwards. So it's a kind of a contraction technique, okay? And there's a famous saying in the Tantra circles that udana bandha is so strong, it's transforming your sexual energy in a so efficient way that if you are single, if you don't have a sexual partner, udana bandha is your sexual partner. So this technique can help you tremendously with your brahmacharya, like holding your sperm retention for long periods of time. And also remember, I told you that if you have blue ball syndrome, you have pain in your testicles, udana bandha will clarify that very quickly. Or you are suffering from wet dreams, you're ejaculating in your sleep when you're not conscious, then immediately I encourage you to do like 15-20 minutes of udana bandha right before sleeping, and that will help you a lot. So how to apply it? Before going into how to apply it, there's a precaution. Your stomach has to be empty completely, which is 3 hours minimum. So in this situation, the best case scenario is to do it in the morning before breakfast, you know. So when you wake up, before you eat something, you can drink some water, that's fine. But do your udana bandhas in the morning before the breakfast. If you didn't have time, or if you want to do it before sleeping, make sure your stomach is empty, minimum 3 hours. So the key principle here is suction, okay? I'm going to show you in a minute how to do this technique. The key principle is suction. You're going to create a hollow suction in your belly, and this suction feeling is like you want to finish your smoothie with a straw. You kind of try to finish the end of it, so it creates this suction of energy, and this suction will suck the energy from the sperms and send it upwards to your heart, to your mind, or the top of the head, you know, different parts of your body. It doesn't matter where, as long as you're moving that energy. I mean, it matters, but not at this moment. So this is how you move the energy. By emptying the lungs, you create a sucking effect. So let me show you how it's done. All right, so I'm going to show you the starting position for udana bandha. This is your starting position, all right? This is how it looks from the side. Your feet are parallel to each other. Your feet are parallel to each other, okay? And they are shoulder width apart. And you're transferring the weight of your body through your arms, to your legs, to your feet. So you can relax your abdominal area completely. So this is the key. From the front, it looks like this. Okay? This is our starting position, and this is also the position that we are doing the actual udana bandha. All right? So, and there are 4 stages of udana bandha. The first stage, we exhale, and the second stage, we hold the breath when our lungs are empty, and then we inhale, and then we hold the breath again for a short period of time, and that makes one performance of udana bandha, okay? And then we take a break, we take some 2 or 3 breaths, just breathe for a few seconds. And then we go again, exhale fully, and then hold the breath, and then inhale, and then hold the breath again, and that completes one more Uddiyana Bandha. You're supposed to do this minimum 10 times and ideally 15, 20 times. And there are a few key things here, okay? And one of them is the exhalation. The exhalation has to be completely full, which means that your lungs should be completely emptied. There should be, ideally, there should be no air left in your lungs. So how to do that? It will take some time for you to understand how to do it perfectly, okay? But don't worry about it in the beginning, just keep practicing. So, I'm in the starting position, and I'm going to exhale. While I am exhaling, I'm going to squat, okay, like this. So what I did exhale, like this, like this is kind of helping me to control the breathing, and I make sure that I'm emptying my lungs. And in the end of it, I relax my mouth completely and like I do something like this. You can try one way of exhaling or the other way of exhaling. For me, what I find the best is to combine them. First exhale, and in the end, empty it like this. Okay? So this is the way to exhale. And when I'm going down like this, it's helping me to take the air out. Okay? Some people prefer to do it like this. I don't recommend that. Because when you do this, when you exhale like this, some of the air can still stay on the top of your lungs. Alright? So just make sure you squat your body. And then I'm going to perform to you now one full Uddiyana Bandha. Okay? Just watch how I do it. Could you follow that? I exhaled, I hold my breath, I inhaled, and I held my breath again. Okay? So I'm going to show it to you again. I will try to show you the hollow, like how my stomach is becoming sucked in. When I do this hollowness of the abdomens, I'm not using my muscles at all, okay? The suction happens automatically with the exhalation, the full exhalation, because the lungs are completely empty and the diaphragm muscle is somehow pulling upwards. This is great massage for your abdominal organs, inner organs as well. Okay, so don't use your muscles. You have to completely relax your muscles, and that's why actually I'm in this position. Because when I'm in this position, my muscles in the abdomen don't have to hold my torso. So I can completely relax my abdomens, okay? Like, I make sure they are relaxed. And I just exhale. And now I want to show you another technique from yoga which will help you very much for relaxation of your abdomens. Remember, I just told you that for a successful performance of Uddiyana Bandha, you need to relax your abdomens completely. And it's a very common problem that there's tension in the abdomens. I've been teaching this technique to hundreds of people over the years, and especially in men, the number one challenge is to relax the abdomens. So there are a couple of things that you can do. For example, take an abdominal massage or go to Pilates classes, and strengthening of the abdominal muscles will also help you to relax. But there is this yogic technique, okay? And for this yogic technique, this is how I put my hands, all right? My middle fingers are next to two sides of the belly button. And if I can, I'm placing my thumb on my this pelvic bone here, okay? And then the other fingers are like this. So this is the position. You're gonna have the photo on the slides as well. And then I'm going to take a position which is similar to Udana Bandha, but I'm more standing. I'm not so much bent, okay? So I relax my abdomens again. And what I do is, the first minute, I am massaging, I'm pressing my belly as strong as possible, and I'm making circles, okay? Like this. And then for another minute, I do it the opposite way. Okay, so I'm going to make it short now. So 1 minute clockwise, as if the clock is sitting on your belly and looking outside. And then another minute, the opposite. Of course, I'm not doing it right because I'm just trying to show you. Normally, the position should be something like this, okay? Alright, so when you finish doing your Udana Bandhas, whatever number it is, like 10, 15, 20, we're going to talk about it soon. When you finish them, just stand up, close your eyes, and focus on what just happened, okay? Just close your eyes and observe your feelings, observe your energy, try to feel sensations, what's going on. Did you change? Did your emotions change? Did your thinking, your mentality change? Or maybe you feel some fire energy in your belly, which is great. Or maybe you feel some tingling in your spine, or some other feeling, or lightheadedness. It could be anything, okay? Doesn't matter, there's no right or wrong. This is something really important in practicing this kind of techniques. It's called awareness phase, all right? You do certain things, you move the energy, or you work on a certain energy center, and then after that, you just spend 1 minute to 2 minutes maximum just observing what just happened. Because this registers what is happening to your brain, and the next time when you do the technique, it will be more effective, okay? So don't skip the awareness phase. How many times to do it? Well, hardcore yogis do this 50 times, 50 Udana Bandhas per day, all right? But you will take it slow and gentle, and here's a program that I suggest to you. On first week, do 7 or 8 times just to get used to it, just to understand the technique and the mechanics of it. The second week, 10 times, third week, 15, and just increase it 5 times per week, like fourth week, 20 times, and then week 5, 25 times. 25 is quite a good number. You don't have to improve that after that. We will see, like we have to look if you're moving the energy is very difficult for you. For some people, it's easier to move the energy. For some people, it's extremely difficult. You need to see your type, and you need to see how much this technique is needed for you. If you're doing, having still pain in your testicles, or if you're having wet dreams, or if you can't move the energy, then you have to stick to this technique. This is really very, very strong technique. It's going to be your long-term friend. I'm doing this technique every day for more than 12 years right now, and I really love it because it helps me tremendously in so many different ways. Also, your goal after 1 month or something, you need to be able to hold your void retention for 20 seconds, at least 15 seconds. In the very beginning, I'm not pushing you, I'm not going to challenge you. just take it easy, take it slow, and stay in the void retention 5 or 7, 8 seconds. That's fine. And then slowly try to increase that over the weeks to 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and 20 seconds. Which state I'm talking about here? I'm talking about the most difficult and most important state, which is step 2. You exhaled, you stand up back to the starting position, and you stay there, right? That's the most challenging, but the most effective part of this, the core of this technique. When your lungs are empty, there is a suction and the energy is moving. And if you can extend that period and ideally hit 20 seconds for one Uddiyana Bandha, for each Uddiyana Bandha, then it will be amazingly helpful for you. All right, how to do this technique during sex? You don't have to take this position. First of all, you can do, after you master this technique in a couple of weeks, hopefully sooner, whatever sex position you are, ideally when you're on top of her, you're in the missionary position, you can stabilize your body with your arms and hands and lean forward a little bit so that the pressure from your abdomens are, if you are more like standing, you need to lean forward. If you're too much lying down, maybe get up a little bit. Find like a similar angle, like 45 degrees, and exhale fully. And just focus on the sublimation. You need to stop the penetration. You can't go move back and forth when you're doing this technique. So you stop. You do one Uddiyana Bandha. You stay with the void retention 10-15 seconds. And then you inhale through the nose and you hold that breath also for 10 to 15 seconds. So this is like 30, 35, 40 seconds of a practice. And doing it only once during sex can help you tremendously move the energy, and you suddenly find yourself away from point of no return. Now it's easier to control your ejaculation. And after one time, you observe your energy, observe yourself. If you need one more time or 2 more times, you can do it. Ideally 1, maximum 2 will be enough. Of course, your partner will look at what is this strange dude doing, like in the middle of the sex, he's doing some strange breathing technique. Never mind, like maybe you can explain. It depends on your dialogue with her, how much openness you have. But don't worry so much about what your partner is thinking. Okay, because what matters is she will be satisfied, the sex will be longer, you will last longer, and then she will not question these things so much. So, troubleshooting, as I said, the number 1 difficulty is usually tension in the abdomens. So try to get an abdominal massage. In the Taoist tradition, there is something called Chi Nei Tsang. You can get a massage from a certified therapist or do some Pilates. Make sure you're doing it the right way. The posture is really important. Some guys, they just lean too much forward, or they're almost like standing. Remember to hold the 45 degrees angle, and your body should be in a straight line. From your butt, your shoulders, your head is all one line. All right, and don't press your knees with your hands, because your knees can be hurt when you do it. So, and also be patient. Don't say, oh, this is something strange and I can't do it. Don't say that. Just keep doing, and it will come to you sooner or later. And also apply the Sahaja Agnisara Dauti, the abdominal yogic self-abdominal massage technique that I just showed you, and you'll be fine, brother. You can do this technique just before Uddiyana Bandha, so you relax your abdomens a little bit before the actual practice. Spend just 2 minutes, 1 minute one direction, the second minute the other direction, and then start your actual Uddiyana Bandha, and you'll be fine. So, and your homework for this module is, of course, spend 15 minutes daily practicing Uddiyana Bandha. Don't forget to do it on an empty stomach. I'll see you in the next module.